Hi, I'm Simon Chrétien. Now it's time to speak about the foundation for our greenhouse. So let me show you what I did. First thing before building your greenhouse is to make sure you have a great foundation. The foundation of your greenhouse will depend on what type of greenhouse you're going to build. Glass greenhouse, polycarbonate, or something else. My greenhouse will be a wall made of single glass and the roof is made of twin wall polycarbonate. So pressure lumber is perfect for this kind of greenhouse. The Legacy 8x8 is not a very big greenhouse, so 4x4 lumber would have done the job, except we are currently living in a shortage period for some kind of lumber and hardware. So I had to go with the 6x6 treated, pressure wood treated lumber. I started by excavating a little bit of soil to make sure I have an even level, because my garden is a little bit in a slope, so I had to make sure I have a great level on the ground, because it will impact all the construction and the assembly. And also I wanted to go a little bit beyond the ground level to have some room to lay over some gravel. I started by installing 8-inch diameter sonotube that I fill with premix of concrete. 6 inches of the sonotube would have done the job, but since I have to use the 6x6 lumber instead of a 4x4, which I would have preferred, I prefer to go with a larger sonotube so I have a better setting for my foundation. And with the gravel, I'm going to have a better drainage in the bottom of the greenhouse. Also, I might want to install some concrete, stone, something like that, as a flooring for my greenhouse. So it's better if I'm below level of the ground, to have some room to adjust and make some compaction of the ground so nothing moves. I linked everything together with some galvanized steel corner to make sure I have a perfect solid foundation that is perfectly square. When you build a foundation, it's very important that you have a perfectly level and perfectly square foundation. It's the most important factor for the success of your greenhouse. If you're not perfectly level or not perfectly square, you're gonna have a lot of problem while you try to build or assemble a greenhouse. If you have something to look for while assembling your greenhouse or building your foundation, is to make sure you're always level and you're always square on your corner. Make sure you have a perfectly even level foundation, so use your level and check each 4 sides of the foundation wall, and make sure everything is all linked together at the perfect level. You also need to make sure your foundation wall is leveled on the vertical axis. You don't want your foundation wall to have some deformation going inward or outward of the greenhouse, so it could affect the greenhouse structure assembly. To help you make sure that your greenhouse foundation is perfectly square, just measure the both diagonal of your 4 corners of the greenhouse and make sure the dimensions are the same, and then you have the certitude that you are perfectly square. I also lay just beyond the gravel some weed protective sheeting, so I don't have some surprises with weed that come from outside of the greenhouse inside. And also, as you can see, I have some wiring and some tubing that goes through the foundation. It's important before you dig in your backyard that you make sure that you don't have any wiring, gas line, or any other underground facility or utility. You need to check with your local authority, or even in my case, it's electrical wire that I have to go to my garden pond, and also I have some underground irrigation system. So I knew they were there, so we were careful when the excavator came and with the excavation. But it's a very important point if you don't want to have some trouble with utility services or your own underground services that you have. If you look more closely, you can see that I made a door drop in the foundation. You could have a door that goes straight flush with your foundation, but instead, in my case, I prefer to have a little more height in my greenhouse, and also it affects the look of a greenhouse. It was a personal choice. So you need to prepare the foundation according to the dimension of the door drop you plan, and you ask when you order your greenhouse. In my case, it's just 5.5 inches, which is the height of the beam of the treated lumber. As you can see, the first layer of the foundation is a continuous foundation with a straight beam, and this gives me more structure, more strength to the base of the foundation, and then I put on top of it the part to create the door drop. This way I have a stronger foundation, and also for the door it gives me a threshold to prevent debris or other material to come in on the floor, or that will mix with when I open the door. So it's a good idea to do that. It's very easy to make a foundation if you just take the time to properly do it, step by step, and making sure at each step that you follow the instruction and you make it correctly. You won't have any problem. It's easy job. It can take some time if you are not equipped with some equipment. You need to take more time to do it manually, but still it's an easy job. Just take the time and ask for help. If you have somebody to help you, it will go easier and faster, and you will enjoy it. It's very exciting, because now, since the foundation is finished, we get to start assembling the greenhouse. So let's see what are those next steps.